Hello, my dear students. We have been studying about the 16 group elements. We have already studied about the ozone, or we have started our study about ozone. We have seen how we can produce ozone. Ozone can be produced by passing the spark, electrical spark, which should be silent. And if we pass the silent electrical spark, we can get the concentration of ozone up to 10%. So up to 10% ozone can be produced by the silent electrical spark. And if we need concentration more than 10%, we need to use the battery of ozonizer. So this is what we have studied last about the ozone. Now we should study about the properties of ozone. So we need to study the color first. Depending upon the physical state, the color of ozone changes. When it comes to the gaseous state, ozone is of pale blue color gas. When it turns into the liquid state, ozone is a dark blue color liquid. But in solid state, ozone is a violet black solid. So this is how we can understand about the various colors of ozone into various physical state. Now we should know about the odor or a smell of ozone. If we really study about the odor or smell, we come to know that ozone has a characteristic smell. When when ozone is harmless and when ozone is harmful, let us try to study. So ozone is harmless in small concentrations, but if the concentration of ozone rises above 100 parts per million, that is greater than 100 ppm, breathing become uncomfortable, resulting in headache and nausea. So if the concentration of ozone is more than 100 parts per million, it is harmful, it creates trouble to the human being, especially into the breathing process. Now we should study about the thermodynamic stability of ozone. Ozone is thermodynamically unstable with respect to oxygen. So, if we compare ozone with oxygen, oxygen is quite stable as compared to the ozone thermodynamically. Ozone 1 decomposes, produces oxygen. You can see this ozone, two molecules of ozone produces three molecules of oxygen. During this process, delta H value is negative. What does it mean? It means that decomposition of ozone is an exothermic reaction. Now, why this reaction is exothermic, or what does it means that exothermic reaction means energy is released during the process of decomposition. So, during decomposition of ozone, delta H is negative. At the same time, entropy of this process is positive. That means entropy increases when ozone decomposes to convert into oxygen. Entropy increases. That is why delta S is positive. So Gibbs free energy, which is represented as delta G is equal to delta H minus T delta S. Overall, it terms, delta H is negative, delta S is positive. This positive into negative turns into more negative. Finally, delta G also is negative. That means the reaction is spontaneous and it itself happens. That means the decomposition of ozone into oxygen is a spontaneous reaction, and during this reaction energy is released, and therefore decomposition of ozone is a spontaneous reaction, and ozone decomposes to give oxygen, and thus this oxygen helps combustion or responsible for combustion. Oxygen combines with the materials available around and combust them and produce their oxides. So This way, oxygen is a combustible gas, or it it makes the combustion of other substances. Therefore, high concentration of ozone can be dangerously explosive. More and more oxygen is produced. Now oxygen combines with the other element and cause blast or explosion, and that is why the higher concentration of ozones are explosive in nature. So ozone should not be stored at higher concentration. That is what it says by this analysis. We'll study about the oxidizing effect of ozone into the next video. I hope, my dear students, you are enjoying. Happy learning.